And so what for you is your greatest personal challenge for sustaining your practice of servant leadership?
So I pray, that's my number one. But then I also, I do an assessment of, whether or not I'm feeling like I'm in the proper space to serve a situation. Do I need to refer somebody in that pool of resources that I have in my network to take the ball, the baton, and run with it? Because I don't really profess to knowing everything there is to know about a scenario. I know as people evolve, as situations continue to evolve, especially during COVID recently, I needed a whole village to help sustain growth and development. So many times I will find that, this is not something that I can answer, but I know, my brother or my sister, somebody else can help to support this need. So I think there's some humility associated with servant leadership that is not associated with me being the person who answers, but my network hopefully helping to come up with a solution.
For me, leading from the middle, the hardest part is keeping the faith. Even though things happen and all the stuff that goes on with work, that's the hardest thing. And I always use the analogy, how you eat an elephant one bite at a time. You just got to keep chewing that elephant. And something else that I've come across recently that I really like is a quote I heard from Bruce Lee. And this is what he used as he helped himself become great. He said,
because I can always punch him too.
Research your own experience, add what is useful, reject what is useless, and then add what is your own. And as I look back over my servant leadership journey, it is like that whole quote just rings so true, whether it was writing the book or that dollar popping into my head, it was all following that same path. So that's what I got.
I think the greatest challenge is what we're all navigating, which is this line of the world as it is and the world as it should be. If you live too much on either side, you lose hope. Because if you're living purely in a world of servant leadership where everyone understands these concepts and can contribute to community in that way, that is the world as it should be, you are not going to be able to garner the resources, the support, the belief, the people in the world as it is. And if you're just living in the world as it is, obviously we're not changing anything. So I think as a leader, it's constantly finding where you belong, where you need to push and pull and prioritize and be strategic when you're bringing people along on the concepts and the work.